Retrotech 100.
Hello and welcome to Retrotech 100. Back with the Amigas again. I think I've determined that this Amiga 500 will be the one I go with for now. I like to go with the Plus, but it's got some sort of stuck key issue. I might be able to determine what's going on there. I will have to change the floppy drive on this one because it's missing the key on the side. It's missing the eject button. I've got a disc in there now. You can just push it in with something. But I've got two other Amigas, so I'll be taking the floppy drive out of that. And I think one of the floppy drives kind of boots faster out of the other machines. I've checked the expansion bays, and none of them have extra RAM in them. So that won't be a determining factor. So today I'm going to show you this one running, and I'm going to take the case apart and clean all the keys and the casing. So let's get on with it. You can see the disc just booted up straight away, so maybe I'll change the little button on the side of the floppy drive. I will, in the end, end up getting a floppy drive emulator. It's a lot easier than dealing with old discs. Very noisy drive. I'm just using a little Bluetooth speaker, but you can see the sound works great. Let's turn that down. I can't turn it down. Anyway. Using a little Amstrad joystick. Turn the sound off because I can't actually turn that speaker down. I'm using, like I say, I'm using a little Amstrad joystick. Initially I thought I didn't have a mouse, but I do, and I only have one game currently. But yeah, the drive is noisy, the floppy drive, but as you can see it does load the game. And I'll probably will go with this. I think it's in the nicest cosmetic condition. You know, the keys are yellowed and that doesn't really fuss me. I will clean them, probably with soap and water. I'll take the case off, and I need to clean the motherboard, but everything is very functional, as you can see. So I'm very pleased. I've never had an Amiga before. My knowledge of Amiga is very low. You know, there's loads of games I like to play because I've seen them on YouTube. So that's really a reason I want Amiga. There's so many games I never played, and I always wanted one as a kid. So now I've got 3. Yes, I've got to work on them, but there's not a lot to do with this one. You do need additional RAM, I think, for some games. I know cap change is advised also. I'm not doing very well at this game. I also need an Amiga RGB SCART cable, because I mean this is composite, but you can definitely see artifacts on the screen from the edges. Hard to see on the camera, but I can see artifacts here. But for now, I think it will be the floppy drive emulator. Definitely a SCART cable, because as you can see, you get these modulators that have composite, because otherwise you just have monochrome composite on the back. They take up a lot of space, so I will save a lot of space just using the SCART. Can anybody answer me why Amiga thought it was a good idea for up to not be a button press like every other console, but to be up on the joystick? Really, I don't know why they did that. Anyway, that's where I'm up to. So this is the one I'm picking out of the couple that I have. It's got no expansion. I'm going to clean it and then clean the inside of the motherboard with isopropyl alcohol. Inspect the board, and if there's anything to deal with, I will try and deal with it. Although I have absolutely no idea about dealing with Amigas, but I guess that's what YouTube and forums are for. why this Amiga 500 is working so well is the board is absolutely spotless. I don't even have to clean it. There isn't even any dust in here, apart from a bit on the floppy drive. I'll take that out and give it a bit of a dust, but it is absolutely not a speck of dust inside here. I'm going to take the board out and clean the plastic, and then I'll put it all back in. But I'm really happy with the inside of that. That's the Amiga case washed and dried. So it's looking a lot cleaner. By no means white or anything, you'd have to pressure bright it, but it's a hell of a lot cleaner than it was. Taking all the keys off the keyboard, doing a nice wash there outside drying, and I'll clean this substrate underneath of the keyboard. I'm really just going to dust this and put it back in, but I'm missing the bit of plastic that pops out the floppy disk. So I'm going to have to disassemble, wait for it, another Amiga to get this button out. This one. I want to do an experiment anyway, because on my Amiga 500 Plus the keyboard's playing up a bit, so I'm going to swap over the keyboards, and maybe the Plus will be a winner as well. But I'm not going to clean these today. I'm just going to get the piece of plastic out on these and put it back together again. So it's all back together, nice and clean. Hopefully it won't blow up when I plug it back in. Let's go and give it a try. So after all my messing with this Amiga, does it work? Let's find out. Well, I got to the workbench. Let's put a disc in. It would appear so. Get this mouse free of all the junk on my desk. Yeah, we'll have unlimited everything. Oh, that lovely noise. I'd say that's a yes. Everything still seems to be functional. So I gave this, basically I gave it a good clean and it's looking a lot nicer now. The motherboard was in excellent physical condition, there was no leaking. It was actually spotless, there wasn't even any dust on the motherboard. The floppy drive was a bit dusty, and the keys, I washed them with soap and water, same with the case. And as you can see, everything's functioning as it should, which is unusual for me. I'm still rubbish at this game. I'm definitely looking to get a floppy drive emulator. I think they're about £25. It's definitely worth it if you can play all the games. So, here it is in all its resplendence. It's come up quite nice. I haven't got rid of all the yellow in, obviously. I didn't retro buy it or anything. But on functional Amiga, I am very pleased. I've never had an Amiga before. I've always wanted one since I was 12 years old. And now, guess what? I've got one. I've got a video previously where I showed getting all these. Plus I've got three. So I've got 3 Commodore Amigas and 3 Commodore 64s. This one was in the best condition, this Amiga. So I worked on this one. And after cleaning it, works great. It worked well before, but I feel better now that it's nice and clean. And I can... I need to find a little space in my little room for it, because I'll definitely be playing it a lot. This is Richard Tech 100. I'll see you next time.